Original Alone in the Dark came out at the beginning of the last decade of the past century and set the groundwork for all modern survival horror games. It was the predecessor to Resident Evil, and only old gamers and woolly mammoths still remember it. Don't worry, that's all you'll get as a history lesson in this review. Alone in the Dark 2024 is a survivor horror game that pays homage to its predecessors, but is a modern game with a brand new story. The first 15 minutes of the game might not leave much of an impression. Permeating browns and what seems to be at first PS4 style graphics engine do not leave a stunning first impression. Luckily, this first impression quickly fades as the game draws you in with some well-designed and moody environments. You play as either Emily Hartwood or Detective Edward Carnby, trying to find out what happened to Emily's uncle Jeremy. Alone in the Dark takes place in an old colonial house turned asylum for the mentally problematic, called the Serge. The house, just like its inhabitants, is a strange creation nestled inside Louisiana Bayou, and very quickly it becomes apparent that we're not in Kansas anymore. You'll be exploring the house, solving puzzles and trying to find out what is happening with Uncle Jeremy. Reality in this Serge tends to be askew. With every new person and every new room you visit, things will become more tense and scary. Pretty soon it all just goes bonkers and you're thrown into a surreal story that keeps you hooked all the way until the end. Storytelling and pacing are so well done that you'll never have a dull moment. Just when you think that things might have calmed down, the floor seems to drop under your feet, and a scary exploration of insanity continues. Just like the characters you play, you'll never know what will happen next. I absolutely loved how the character in the game would say something like, "Oh no, not again," while I was thinking exactly the same thing in my head. The game explores topics of mental health, cults, Lovecraftian horrors, ancient myths, guilt, and all other primordial things that make humans weep when alone in the dark.
For we all bear this mark. Thus we must remain alone in the dark.
If only everything was as perfect as the storytelling. Combat in the game is basic to the point of dragging the whole experience down. You'll face only a few types of enemies in the entire game, and they're all dealt with by using your pistol, shotgun or a Tommy gun, or using various melee weapons that are good only for 5 or 6 hits, after which they break. If you get hit by a monster, you'll be unable to do anything for a second or two, and you could get stun locked like I used to be when playing PvP in World of Warcraft back in the day. Combat is awkward, monster design repetitive, and once you figure out that they don't present much of a challenge, the tension will subside. I was happy to ignore weird combat technicalities due to fantastic voice acting, soundtrack of the highest quality, and general mood of the entire experience. Alone in the Dark is an unapologetic period piece that perfectly depicts 1920s in the American South. Everyone is smoking and drinking hard liquor, men are patronizing, and voodoo is an acceptable religion choice. It is a tasty blend of noir, American Gothic, and Lovecraftian cosmic horror. It's worth playing the game both with Detective Carnby and Emily. First, because both actors did a fantastic job, and it is a joy to watch the story unravel with both of them. Second, by playing as Edward or Emily, you'll reach the same ending, but the path, especially in the later part of the game, will differ, so the game warrants a second playthrough. Despite weak combat and somewhat dated graphics, I thoroughly enjoyed the game. The story is far more mature compared to any Resident Evil in existence, dealing with layered horror that's both existential and supernatural. And the superb acting from both the main and supporting cast binds all the various strands together, distilling the finest narrative of all Alone in the Dark games to date. I give Alone in the Dark 2024 8 out of 10. I'm also happy that this is our first video review on our YouTube channel, and you can expect more of them in the future. You can also read a more thorough review on our website, link to which is in the description below. If you found this fun or helpful, please like and subscribe. It's gonna help us with the YouTube algorithm. This is the Noob signing out.